While this isn't good news, the country has a solid recent history since the dawn of democracy, and with that comes a sense of optimism.
In the last few years, because South Africa is a complex country with good institutions, a fairly good infrastructure, there's been an awakening of the realization that policy choices need to be implemented better and that the middle class and the institutions need to respond more assertively. And that's the nature of the democratic project in South Africa.
This is good news in a country with chronic unemployment because there are some green shoots starting to appear in the country's economy.
The economy in 2017 looks better than 16. And just at the start of the year, at the outset, there's already some reasonable signals. So business confidence indicators are heading in the right direction. Drought is something of the past. And in itself, just that passage of drought translates to about a 0.5% economic growth improvement. On top of that, the drought brings a second blessing, and that is in the form of falling food prices.
It's not all good news, though. The country has avoided 2 ratings agency downgrades by rallying behind its finance minister, but it's not over yet. Growth is lackluster and not expected to reach the 3% in the next 3 years. So a downgrade remains on the cards.
So what they need is to be able to forecast now that we are going to reach that kind of growth rate by 2020. And in order for us to do that, we need to unlock some of our structural constraints, particularly in the mining sector and particularly with labour.
To get to those growth rates will require political will, something that appears to be lacking in South Africa as the country prepares for a ruling party elective conference in December.
Politics now has a potential to undermine economic growth. Remember, when we talk about investor, when we talk about the economy, we are talking about confidence mostly. And now the politics that we have is the one that is about, at the center is the crisis of confidence. And then you've got to deal with that. You really cannot have a situation where the finance minister doesn't get along with the head of cabinet, that is the president. That is just not a recipe for any success. You can make all forecasts that we want about economic growth, as long as we do not deal with that, because that defines the policy implementation environment. If you have such a stifled policy implementation environment, it is quite unthinkable that you can actually grow the economy further.
Looks like it's going to be more of the same for South Africa's economy, but there is some hope on the horizon. I'm Angelo Coppola for CGTN in Johannesburg, South Africa.